If you met a kid today and you went to one of the jails to see a kid today, and there was something impactful about that child, write it down. Start writing their stories for them. You then become their voice with their permission. Write their stories. Everybody has things that they're going through, you know, everybody. And sometimes the people that smile the widest are going through the most stuff or trying to be so tough, and they're not. They're scared as hell. But you walk them, you get them through that process. And you say, I'm here. And I'm here means you can buy a sandwich and give it to them. Doesn't mean you have to continue the conversation. You could say, baby, is there anything we need to do for you here? Who can I put you in touch with? Follow up on the conversation. It's important what you say. It's so important because your words can really hurt somebody else and you think it's no big deal. What impacts you, what doesn't impact you can really impact somebody else, you know? And if you see people that are just not doing so well, don't ask them any questions. And you see them outside, buy a sandwich. Get them a bologna sandwich, a butter roll, and a cup of coffee. And just give it to them and say, have a good day, baby. And just leave. You might have fed that person something that they haven't had for a week or a month. You know? I very much believe, I come out of a very large family. There was 12 if you counted everybody. Brothers and sisters, mostly girls. And my mother was adamant about something, and I think that's where I get it from. She would say, they don't have to live here, but you're going to damn sure feed them. So if they showed up at the door and nobody was there, you give them something to eat. She always made these big pots of soup that were always on the stove. And these little funny bowls they had back in those days. And she'd just pick it up, put the soup in the bowl, and say, if he knocks, give him 2 slices of bread and a bowl of soup. So that's why I always ask people, are you hungry? Did you eat today? You know? You have to look out for people. If we looked out better for each other, we'd all be so much better. And I grew up in a community that we were like the United Nations. You know, when my mother passed away at her funeral, you had people with yarmulkes, people with the curls, you had Italians, you had Gentiles, you had everybody, because they all knew Miss Elsie. And she would always feed their kids, and they could find their kids in her house. Look out for somebody's child. Maybe the girl you sit right next to, that's your admin friend, has 3 kids. But her mama doesn't want to help her with them. So how does she ever get a break? And everybody needs a break. So you say to her, listen, drop the kids off by me today and pick them up later on tonight. You go get your hair done or whatever it is that you do, or just go sleep. It's important to look out for your sisters and your brothers. I don't care what color they are. You look out for them. And everybody, just like the God thing, I'm a firm believer in God. I say my Our Father every morning. But everybody doesn't, you know, and that's fine, because that's your life, you know, and you have to do with your life, because there's no do-overs. You don't get do-overs, you know, with everything that you do. And help people. Like if you see somebody sitting at the desk and they're looking at the same thing for a long time, just walk over and say, baby, can I help you? Are you okay? You know? Maybe they just need somebody to give them a word for them to finish a sentence. And it's okay. You know, you may not know the answer, but at least listen. You don't have to talk. Just listen. Because as I've raised my sons and I've told them, sometimes silence is the loudest conversation you can have. People just want to talk. They don't necessarily want you to say something. And when they call back, recognize that they call back. And they're trying to do their best to get to the next level of their life. Whatever that might be. Whatever that might be. You know? This is the way that I tell my stories. I want you to tell your stories your way. Don't tell them my way. because you'll lose yourself in the process of my way. Tell your stories your way. Each of you has something so special that nobody else knows about. People don't appreciate it. For all of you, okay? All of you. So whatever that story is, tell that story. Tell that story. It's really important. So that's how I tell my stories in my life. So thank you.